Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about the worst beauty products for the year of 2019 in my humble opinion. If you don't agree with these and you love them, it's okay. I forgive you for being wrong. I'm just kidding. Of course, we all have different opinions. Remember, different skin, different things are going to work for different people. And that is the end of my disclaimer. I'm just going to jump straight into this and tell you guys what I think were the worst products for the year. And I'm going to start off with something that I think a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on. However, I really don't like this, and I think it's one of the only palettes that I have for the worst of 2019. And if you don't know what I'm about to say, I don't know how, because I think I have dragged this palette so many times, more than I probably should have, and it is the Natasha De Nonna Safari palette. No, I do not have this in my collection anymore. I returned it. I absolutely did not get on board with this palette. If you are confused as to why, please check out my video reviewing it. I had so many issues with patchiness. I feel like this is one of the first cooler tone palettes that she had done, or at least had cool tones in it. The warmer tones in the palette worked better, but the cool tones just were a hot mess. They were patchy. It just was not up to par for Natasha De Nonna. And I try out just about every Natasha De Nonna palette that has ever been made. I had them all the way back to the original $239 28 pan palettes. I have both of those and many, many more. And for whatever reason, this was just an absolute utter fail. Next on the list, I'm so sorry, Lady Gaga, but House Laboratories, the very first launch. I haven't tried anything since then, but the very first launch, we had a lip liner, there was a gloss, and then a cream liquid eyeshadow. The liner was okay, but it came off very, very, very easily. In fact, I kept one of these kits. I forgot to grab this. Let me see. I bought 3 kits off of Amazon, and then I decided to keep one of them. And this liner was a part of one of the kits. And this is the shade. It says Rip Lip Liner. All right, let me just show you. And I'm gonna do a self promo right here. I'm gonna give this a second to set up. I really am. I'm gonna give it its best chance. But I'm also going to put my lip liner beside it. This is what I have on my lips right now. It's my collaboration with Christian Audette Kitten Liner. And I feel like, this one's definitely more peachy. This one's more pink. But I'm gonna put this right beside it so you can see. And I'm just gonna wait a second, and then I'm gonna show you what I do not like about this liner. I feel like you can put it on, it glides on very well. However, it just comes off. And I do not like to carry around my liner with me and have to touch up. I don't care if it, it kind of fades or whatever, as long as I still have somewhat of a definition there. With my liner, with Christian Audette, it's there all day long. Now this one is not going to last for you. So let me go ahead. I'm just gonna rub this off. That is shameful. That is absolutely shameful. And mind you, I put mine on after I did the House Laboratories one. This does not last at all, And I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna show you how good my liner is. This is why I went with Christian Audette. I'm gonna, take, this is a wet wipe, and I'm lightly going over it. Now I'm gonna go harder. You guys, they don't move. So I have a huge issue now with liners that move that easily. Even MAC liners don't move that easily. I'm still trying to get this off, you guys. So that was my first gripe was, I really liked the color of the liner. However, I felt like it was gone, especially when you put the gloss on top of it. And the gloss was just so regular, smegular, just nothing special about it. The packaging on everything really kind of seemed cheap. And then we get to the eye whatever. I don't even remember what they're called. I tried this several times and I got the same result every single time. There are some good qualities, like it blends out really nicely. So if you wanted something that was going to go on the lid and you'd be able to blend it, it does blend. The problem is it doesn't set down enough to where it doesn't transfer and it doesn't crease, because it does both. I mean, it moves like nobody's business, and I almost never have this type of issue. This was just an absolute no-go for me. So I was really disappointed in the very first launch from her. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. So I didn't get on board with that launch. Patrick Ta, you have since redeemed yourself because Mama loves those blushes that you just came out with, but the original thing was a highlighting set, and Major Glow Highlighting Mist was a major fail. Oh my goodness. So I'm posting pictures because I returned mine. This gets everywhere, and it doesn't matter how you do it. I got the fan. I still have the fan because I like to use it to fan my face after I have sprayed it. But even the fan is funky. Like, I have to sit here and try and get the fan to go back into its regular spot. And that's not because I've had it for a while. This fan has done that since day one. It does not just go right back into place. So that's aggravating, but I use the fan and I kept it. Back to the highlights. So I tried it with, putting the fan right up against your face, spraying. That left a harsh line. I tried it over the eye, spraying. Then it gets all down the side of your face. If you don't use it at all, or even if you do use the fan, actually, it ends up in your hair, it ends up in your brows, it ends up absolutely everywhere. I liked the finish of it. Like, when you spray your hand, it looks beautiful, but realistically, trying to apply this to your face is just not, it's not something that is going to be user friendly. It is something that you're going to have to do a lot of cleanup with, and it's just aggravating. And on top of that, you are losing a ton of product as it's spraying into the air. It's going on your clothes and everything. Trust me, I was wearing a pair of black pants once when I was doing my makeup. Yeah. I had to change my outfit. Stila, oh my goodness, you guys hurt my feelings with this one. I don't know why I take it so personally, but I love the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows and the Shimmer and Glow. I just think they are beautiful. So when they came out with the Shade Mystery liquid eyeshadows, I thought that these were going to be Bomb.com. I thought, ooh, duochrome, and it's going to be so beautiful. Wow, this was a huge miss, and they are currently on sale at Sephora, so I know I'm not the only one that thinks this. They creased, they are patchy, they will fade throughout the day. I remember Kelsey and I going out and she had it on, and in certain light you could see the glitter and it was pretty, and then in other light it looked like there was nothing there at all. And then throughout the day it was creasing, it was fading. It's just not good. I don't know what they did to destroy that formula, but I would love to see them give it a second attempt. Like, do it again, but make it, more like the Shimmer and Glow, not the Glitter and Glow, but like the Shimmer and Glow type of formula, and do a really duochrome or multi-chrome. I know that is a huge thing right now. I would like to see that, but these just, yeah, I took every single one of them back to the store. The worst foundation I tried during the entire year for 2019 goes to Hourglass. The Hourglass Vanish Seamless Liquid Foundation. I had such high hopes for this because I love the stick. It's one of the only stick foundations that I really get on board with. I have a couple that I like, but out of all of them, I think that the Vanish stick is my favorite, and I still don't use it a ton just because I don't tend to use stick foundations a lot. When it first came out, I definitely was going in with it. So I thought that this was going to be that, a little thinner, but perfection on the face. So oily. I get so oily. It would make me look dry at the same time. It made me look cakey. I hated the way that this looked on my face, and I don't know of a lot of people that actually ended up getting on board with this foundation. I feel like across the board, the majority of people that I watched or people that I know in person didn't like this foundation. I just don't know what they did, but they messed it up. They messed it up bad. We all know how much I adore, absolutely adore Pat McGrath. Mother Pat, she can do almost no wrong, except for when she came out with the Skin Fetish line. So there is a foundation in this line which is called the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection. I have this is just a hot mess. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. And then we have the powder and 2 different brushes. I just grabbed one of the brushes because I didn't feel like digging around to find the other one. Let me start off with the brushes because they are in my, one of them is in my hand. I'm looking at Sephora right now. Each of these have 2 stars. And the reason being is because these feel like Real Technique brushes. They feel like an affordable brand brush. Not that they feel bad or anything like that. They just don't feel like they are $58 and $55 a piece. This one right here is the $58 one, the powder brush. I'm telling you, this is just it's light, it's flimsy. It is not a $55 brush. Do not waste your money on this. And then the other one is a smaller one. It's more of a kabuki. It's a little softer than this one, and it's for the foundation. Again, do not waste your money on these brushes. They are not worth it. These are not quality brushes. These are just, you know, I would say I could find these at Walmart, at Target, or I could find better brushes at Target. Sonia Kashuk, she got you beat. She got you beat. I use this today. Let's see. This is the large powder brush. Yeah, if I was gonna pick one, I think this is $22, $55. Definitely going with Sonia on that one. So brushes, biggest fail for the price. If they were $10 or $15, wouldn't have been that mad at it, honestly. Then we have the primer. The primer does nothing. It might add a little hydration to your skin, but I mean, I have skincare. I don't feel like this made a difference in the way that my makeup looked. I don't feel like it made a difference in how long it lasted throughout the day. And again, packaging, what was she thinking? This right here, I can't. This construction paper atrocity right here that keeps coming up on the edge, I just can't. And it just, again, feels so cheap. And it's not a cheap primer. Do I have a picture of it? Hold on. I want to say it was $60, but I don't want to say wrong. Yeah, it was $60 for this. No. Oh, and then another no. This, the powder. I know some people really like this powder. I am not one of them. This makes my skin look so dry. And you are getting, let me see, 5 grams of product in here. Do you know how expensive this is? I had to stop really quickly and do some quick math. This is $55 for 5 grams of product, which makes it $11 per gram. I just want to point out that the La Prairie, which is leaps and bounds better than the Pat McGrath powder, this is holy grail status for me. I love this powder, and it comes with a travel size. So this is 40 grams, and then you get another 10 grams. So 50 grams of product. It is $220, but that is $4.40 compared to the $11 per gram for the Pat McGrath. And your skin is going to thank you for this one. And this one is so drying. It feels very finely milled. So I had high hopes for it, but it's just no. It's a huge no for me. I can't. I just don't like it. Now, the foundation that went with this collection, I did not love, but I didn't hate it either. I said that Luminous Silk was better, and I know a lot of people were like, well, Pat McGrath helped with that. I get that. I do. I get that. But this, especially paired with the powder, was not good for me. I have tried this out several more times. I don't love it. except for today. And I know this is a fails video, but I just want to say that today I put this on with my By Terry. This is something I recently reviewed. It is the Starlight Rose Youth Glow Elixir. I have these two put on today. I just was curious to see if it would make a difference with this on my skin, and I feel like it really does. So I'm liking this combo right here. I just wanted to tell you guys that. All right, you guys, we're picking on Natasha again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Natasha. I love so many things from you. I really do. This, unfortunately, is not one of them. This is the Natasha De Nonna Glow Gold Shimmer Duo, and you have two different formulas in here, the diamond powder and the super glow. You can find these in other palettes, and I do like them. They do have glitter in them, but I feel like they look kind of like glass on the skin. This one, I don't like the tones in here. I think that it's just not a very, I don't know, it's just not very cute. Even if the color works for you, like on a richer complexion, the formula is not good. If you guys can see, it's kind of got like this hard pan already, and I've barely used it. And okay, there's two swatches. You have to build this up. It is so glittery and it goes down your face. It doesn't adhere like the other formulas that she has done in the past. Like, this formula is not the same. I don't know what is different about it, but it is not the same as the diamond powders and the glow powders that are in her other palettes. This one was just an absolute dud. I don't know why I still have it. Two concealers made my fails for the year of 2019. The first one is from Marc Jacobs, and this is technically a concealer and touch-up stick. It works better as a touch-up stick. Stick with that. But underneath the eyes, this is not cute. It's the Accomplice Concealer and Touch-Up Stick. I felt like this made my under eyes look so dry and crepey. The texture of it was really nice. I tried it with my sponge. I tried it with my fingers, like applying it with my fingers and really getting it in, warming it up and whatnot. It's just, it didn't work out. And if you don't set it, it definitely creases. On the face, if you're somebody who doesn't wear powder, it's great for touch up. Make sure that you end up warming it up on your finger first before you apply it. But if you put this on top of powder, or like myself, I wear powder, I set my face, I buff everything, I can't use this to touch up. It has to be used as a concealer because that isn't something that works for me. I did try it as a concealer on my face, and I felt like, you know, sometimes it would work. Sometimes I would get away with it and you could see it would be pretty smooth, but other times I feel like it would look dry on that area, especially if it wasn't redness or something flat that I was trying to cover up. If it was a dried out pimple, it did not look good on top of it. So that was an absolute no. This one is not going to be a shock to you guys because I recently talked about this when my most hated concealers. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Concealer, and I feel like I have, you know, been on a rampage with this concealer lately, so I'm not going to get too far into it. I'm just going to tell you the things that I don't like. I don't like the size of the actual applicator because it's so small and it's awkward to hold in my hand. I don't like the sponge applicator tip because of the shape. It's like this mini hourglass. I feel like maybe if it was bigger, it would have worked better. The color is supposed to be a light, medium, neutral shade. I have the number 203. It is so yellow. And then again, this makes my under eye, I have fine lines underneath my eyes. And if you have fine lines and are dry at all, this is going to accentuate it so much. I absolutely love the foundation, but this is a no-go. Nope. There's no redeeming qualities for me with that one. It's just, it sits and I need to declutter it, give it to somebody so they can try. I don't know. I need to do something with it because right now it's just sitting in my drawer. Tom Ford. This is actually something that I had an intuition about. I was looking at it and I just felt like, it looks like it could be colors kind of grabbed from other palettes and put together, and it was pretty dark. And there's just something about it that made me think it wasn't going to be good. And I can't describe that feeling. You know when sometimes you just have a gut feeling? I had that gut feeling. And this is the Extreme Quad, the Badass Quad, the newest one. And it looks gorgeous, especially in person before it's even been swatched and whatnot. You can see the shimmer and everything in it. The problem is it does not translate that way onto the eyes. I do think that the bottom shade down here, this shade right here, can be really pretty if you really work with it and you just put it all over the lid. But I have other shades in my collection that I just don't have to put that much effort into. And then if you want to see what I'm talking about when it comes to swatching it and then like the colors just aren't there, watch Michelle Wong's video. I absolutely agree with everything that she said. This palette, it's like the pigmentation isn't there. You would think looking at it that it was going to be this dark, sultry, beautiful, sparkle, just amazing palette, and it's not. It's really not. I'm so glad that I listened to my intuition and skipped on it. Had people been loving it, I probably would have ended up grabbing it, but I watched reviews and then I saw it in person and I was playing with it and I was like, this is not it. This is not it at all. You put this on your eyes and it just does not look like it should. So I'm really glad that I ended up skipping it. I'm also glad that I got to try it out so that I would know for sure. But this is just, it isn't it. And it's $88. Don't spend your money on it. It's a waste of money. And on top of that, I just want to make sure that you guys know that is not the standard wet dry formula. It is the extreme formula or whatever they want to call it. It is not the typical, you know, like honeymoon, nude dip, suspicion, like all these other ones that I love. It is not that formula, just so you guys know. Moving on to NARS. This is one collection that just had me feeling some type of way. All right, this is the NARS Orgasm collection. There's a few different things in here. We had a gloss, we had a liquid highlighter, and then we had this palette. So first off, I want to talk about the liquid highlighter. This highlighter is so sheer. And when I mean sheer, I mean you could put just a gloss on your face and it's gonna look exactly the same. It's not at all what I had anticipated it to be. I thought that it was going to be this really beautiful light pink, gorgeous liquid highlight. You can mix this in with your foundations, whatever. I would use strobe cream from MAC before I would use this. It's just not good. Again, very sheer. It's not worth the money. The gloss, it's fine. I kept the gloss, but the palette was greasy. The pigmentation was not there and it moved my foundation. It didn't matter if I set my foundation first or if I didn't set my foundation. This was a product that, I don't know, it was just too emollient. And then again, you could put one of the colors on one side and another blush color on the opposite side and they're going to look exactly the same. I returned this ASAP. I was just over it. Had that been either a better cream palette or a powder palette, I would have loved it, I think, but they just messed up on the formula in my opinion. This one is from Beauty Blender as well as the next thing that I'm going to talk about. This is the Redo Set and Refresh Spray. This was a hot mess. Oh my goodness, I got this and I originally got one and the sprayer was so funky. I'm going to insert a video. I put it on Instagram. It's like, what is this? It would spray out and then it would shoot out like a squirt gun. So you would ruin your makeup. I ruined my makeup and had to wipe it off and start all over. And then when I got one and the sprayer was like, it worked half the time and then wouldn't work. When the sprayer did work, it left these milky spots on me, kind of like what happened with the MAC Matte Fix Plus. And I would shake it, I would do whatever, it just was nasty. So I like to do a trick sometimes. If a spray doesn't work for me spraying it on my face, I'll put it on the end of my sponge and I'll soak it up in there. I will tap off on my hand like any excess and then I'll go over my face. I still got this really weird residue on my face. I don't know what it was, but it was just the ultimate, go take your makeup off and fix your face again. And then the next thing from Beauty Blender, I have no idea what they were thinking with this. Where are they at? I have them, yes, I have them set aside. I castrated my brushes. Yes, I did, because when I first got these, oh, I dropped, I'm not picking it up. I'm not picking it up. There's another brush. I'm not going to pick it up. They had, there's 1, 2, 3, and then the one that's on the floor is the brow brush. So that one didn't have a ball at the end of it. I'm going to insert a picture so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There were these little roller balls that you could depuff, and I feel like these were so expensive. I think I spent like $200, something like that, for the 5 brushes. The brushes on the end are actually nice. I really like this one right here without the ball on the end, but it's so gimmicky what they did by putting these roller balls at the end and saying, oh, well, you can roll out and, you know, roll out. Okay, sorry, I get distracted. You could depuff underneath the eyes or whatever. I felt like if they wanted to do a roller ball brush, they should have just done one. That way it could go in with your skincare as well, instead of being in with your makeup, because not everybody does their skincare and their makeup at the same station, so to speak. I do my skincare in my bedroom, not even in my bathroom, but in my bedroom. And then my makeup I do in here always. So it would be like having to bring these brushes into where I do my skincare in order to really get the benefit from the roller ball. Because once I'm in here, I've let my skincare sink in and it is time for my makeup. So that, I think, would have been a better idea, but they charged more per brush because they put the little balls at the ends of the brushes. And not only was it a gimmick, it made holding the brushes very awkward. So this one, the larger powder brush, had a larger ball on the end of it, and it would actually weigh down the end of the brush, and it would make it weird trying to apply my powder. Now that I don't have those, I actually use my brushes, and Puffin just pulled them off. Literally, he was trying to figure out if he was going to have to clip them or whatever, but then he just yanked and it came out. And I was like, okay, thank you. And with the eye brushes, both of these right here had just these two right here had the balls on the ends of them as well. And when you are sitting here and you're trying to blend eyeshadow, having something heavy on the end of the brush is very uncomfortable. And it was such a shame that they did this, because I really like this blending brush. This one works out well, but this one was my favorite. And then the Wingman liner brush I really like, but it didn't have a ball at the end of it. So I felt like that was a huge gimmick and a huge fail. I think that if they had just come out with brushes, these are really nice quality. I really like the powder brush. I have been using it quite a bit. It's so soft, and it's so much softer than the Pat McGrath one. But I wish I hadn't spent as much money as I did, just because of those stupid little balls. Chanel's Cruise collection. Now there's a few items in here that I could, you know, definitely talk about. I've had them in my fails for the month, but the biggest fail for me, and definitely one for the entire year, is this so-called bronzer. It is the Duo Bronze Lumiere Bronzer and Highlight Duo. No, it's the lightest one. So this one is the darker one. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But that is the shade medium. The one I am talking about is the very first shade, the lightest shade. In no way, form, or fashion is this a bronzer. And it's not even a slight blush on me. It is almost my skin tone. So I could almost use it as a powder, but not quite. And then the highlight is pretty, but it's, you know, it's very natural. But if I was going to go for a natural highlight, I would want the entire pan to just be that natural highlight. I really don't understand what they were thinking with this, because even on extremely fair skin, this is still not going to be a bronzer of any type. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this fails video. It's definitely a lot shorter than my favorites. I don't even know how I'm gonna address my favorites because there's so many. I feel like it's gonna be a 2-hour long video. So you guys let me know down here, do you want as long of a video as it's going to be if I really truly put everything that I just absolutely loved for the year? Or would you rather me be extremely nitpicky and, you know, try to make it shorter than it would be? You guys let me know and I'll do what you want me to do. Maybe I'll do a poll. I think I'll probably do a poll. And yeah, if you guys want that really long video, I'll do it for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this fail session. Let me know down below what are some things that just did not work out for you during this year. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.